Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the last part about how to make a bloodline in pigeons. And the reason why it's the last part because today we will talk about the last suggested method in this article, the article that was published in 2010 and by this name and this information. So again, I'm trying to explain something I found in my own way. I'm not the author and I will not claim that. So as you can see, this one was published in 2010. If someone put this article or these methods on his channel and he claims they belong to him, stop doing that. It's not nice. Anyway, so today we are talking about the skip generation program. This is the last one in this article. And as you can see, to start such a program, we need one male and two females. Make sure when you pick the right ones. By saying that, I mean, they should be pure. It's not about the looking. Oh, they look like Canadian. They look like Gordon Hughes. They look like Ruby Rollers. Make sure they are 100%. They were not mixed in the past few years. So pick those from very well-known Loft, because that will ease the process on you. And if you get surprised in the next generation, not because the method doesn't work, this one or the ones before it, because the basic foundation, something wrong was in it. So I just redid it with some colors to make it easy for myself. We have F1, the first generation, we have the second generation, and we have the third generation. As you can see, there is no way to speed up this process. Why? Because the F1, after we get them, we get females in here, and we will be waiting on those females to be ready so that they mate again to the basic foundation cock A, and so on. So that's why it's called the skip generation, because you skip the cocks from one generation or you skip the hens from the second generation. So doing the math, after doing the math, daughter A will be look like this, the genes distribution. Daughter 2 will be like this, the gene distribution. The grandson 1 and grandson 2 from the second generation are totally different. Why? Yes, they share some genes from the basic foundation cock, but also they are unique. With grandson 1 is unique with the 25% of his genes come from the hen B. This one here, or the set of cocks that you will get here, the 25% of their genes will be from the hen C. 25% is not a small amount. So, and this is not a throwback, you have to consider it. The third generation is more complicated, and also the third generation, the method assumes you focus only on the hens, because you use them to create the fourth generation. Even if you get males, you don't use them. The third generation, as you can see, they have a 25% also of their genes from C. The other line has 25% of their genes from the B. So this is 25% will be until the end. And yes, the A percentage just increased. And if you look here, the A percentage was 3/4, right? There is another way to write the 3/4, which is 6/8. So we move from 6/8 to what? to 5/8. That's weird in this method. 3/4, we can write it as 6/8. So the percentage of the genes from the A and the second generation is 6/8. The percentage of A is 5/8 here in the third generation. In the fourth generation, I just did it because I don't know where to stop. It is not clear to me where to stop, and I conclude that you don't stop here. You keep doing it, and this is something I don't like. You don't reach to the steady state in this method, and that's why I don't like it. F4 still has 25% of someone. These guys will have 25% of their genes from the C hen, and these guys will have 25% of their genes from the B. The percentage of the genes, the portion of the genes that comes from the cock A is 11/16 in here, in both. Just the generation before it was 10/16. So it goes up and down. The portion of the genes, it's not that much of difference, but it is not a steady state one, just like we saw in the other two methods. So I don't like this method, and I'm sorry to say that. Why? Because when I make something, before I call it my strain of tipplers, my family of tipplers, I should know where to stop. So I switch from individual breeding to the open loft community breeding. And this method, I don't know where to stop. So if I suggest something, I like, as I said before, this is my best. This is the best, in my opinion. Why? Because I can work it in parallel. And it goes to the steady state. The distribution of the genes will be in a steady state condition. And if I pick right, if I pick the males and the females very similar, I will have some nice output. I'm pretty sure about that. So that's the last part about this nice article. There are so many websites, people talking about creating a bloodline in general, in poultry, in chickens, roosters, and I found this one about the pigeons, and that's why I share it with everyone. Again, thank you so much for the author for sharing this information. And before reading this article, I was a phenotype breeder. After reading this article, I think I'm going to be a genotype breeder. What's the difference between these? The answer in here. Phenotype will not take you anywhere. Genotype will let your name to be documented. I'm pretty sure. Thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful breeding season.